Hi, I'm Marzipan. I have been doing drag for nearly 20 years now, actually, so don't tell anyone.
So I'm Jojo Zaho. I've been doing drag for about 2 years now.
I started doing drag when I was underage so that I could get into nightclubs. I kept getting bounced by the bouncers all the time and I thought, oh, okay, so what's my best tactic here? And so I started to do drag so that I wouldn't get asked for ID, really. At that stage in my life, I was kind of hanging out with a lot of people who also did drag recreationally. And so part of that was that I kind of got caught up in that fun.
I started it as kind of a political statement. A local council member of Dubbo, where I was living, had mentioned that homosexuality is not part of the Indigenous culture. And later that year, Dubbo was having their first Pride March. So in my Up Yours response, I decided to do the march in full drag, representing the Indigenous colours. Just kind of snowballed from there. She's pretty now.
So Miss First Nation was run in Darwin last year in September. And it was the first national competition with a focus for Indigenous drag performers. And we thought, God, there's just such a pool of talent here which is untapped, and there's no platform for these Indigenous performers to be able to shine, because lots of the drag scene, particularly in the big cities, is very kind of whitewashed. And we were so lucky at the same time to connect with the film team who created the documentary Black Divaz, which followed the girls' journey throughout the week in Darwin.
It'd be very surreal to just look back, and because I was also a part of it, like reflect on what's not shown as well. It's just kind of like reliving it all again, which would be amazing.
Yeah. Once the film comes out and people see how beautiful it is, I'm sure that will generate some interest. For me, drag is less about kind of feeling fabulous and looking beautiful, but more about entertainment and being a really solid entertainer. So I mean, I call myself a clown rather than an impersonator.
It's not just about standing there and looking pretty, because there's so much more than that to drag.
So if it's boring, it's like, well, you may as well just get dressed up and sit around your living room.
So it was Miss Talent, Best National Costume, Miss Photogenic, and...
I think you won that, didn't you?
I did. I won Miss Photogenic and Best National Costume.
Well, I think what's unique about this pageant in particular is that we really focused a lot on the performance element. Lots of the kind of pageantry drag is about the look and how you outfit and how you present and all of that stuff, whereas this was a competition that was based on talent. That was the really wonderful part about the pageant, is that Miss First Nation, because we see this amazing pool of talent like coming up through the ranks, and we can really sort of start to pass the baton.
We all have something completely different to offer. We all have very different styles, and a lot of people think, you know, drag pageant is very snarky, bitchy, stabbing in the back, but I think for all of us it was just one big family sisterhood that we had going on, yeah. If one of us succeeds, we all succeed. People
from all over Australia, and to create that network and that support, and that's kind of made it all worth it for me.
Even just one kid sees me in drag, loving myself and not really caring what anyone else says. If I can inspire them, like, that'd be amazing. Everyone's been amazingly supportive. Everyone's encouraging. My family is incredibly supportive. If I have someone who's not supportive, they obviously don't say it to my face.
Yeah, they better shut it.
Before I shut it for them.
Our plans for the future pageant is obviously to run this again, because the talent pool is still huge and we feel like we've sort of started a bit of a fire now. And also we'd like to take Miss First Nation globally.
Since the pageant, I've noticed on social media a few more Indigenous queens kind of getting into it. I've got a few queens that I've kept my eye on, and they're very keen to enter into this year's pageant, and those girls bring it.
Yeah, we need them because we want to do the pageant again. Yeah. So anybody out there, start drag. Join us, be one of us.